Right now, somewhere in the world, a man is sitting beside a woman who just asked him a question. It sounded simple, harmless even. He answered casually, maybe brushed it off without a second thought. What he doesn't realize is that in that moment, she revealed everything. She handed him a clear invitation, wrapped in the most ordinary words, and he completely overlooked it. That man could easily be you. But after this, it won't be. Here's a truth that might hit a little hard. When it comes to intimacy, women rarely say exactly what they mean. I know this firsthand. And after years of observing and understanding how women communicate, I can tell you this. The signals of desire are nothing like what most men expect. There's no obvious sign, no dramatic confession, no cinematic moment where everything becomes clear. Instead, it's subtle, quiet, easy to miss. So subtle, in fact, that most men let it pass by, unnoticed. Research published in communication monographs found that women rely on indirect communication nearly 70% more often than men when discussing emotionally sensitive topics. That's a significant difference. It means that when a woman wants something deeper, something personal or intimate, she's very unlikely to express it directly. Instead, she softens it, wraps it in neutral language. And if you're only listening to the surface, you'll miss what she's really saying. Now, here's what makes this different. I'm not going to give you a long list of vague signs. No guessing games, no abstract advice about reading energy. Instead, I'm going to show you the two exact questions she asks when she's seeking intimacy. Just two. And once you recognize them, you'll start noticing them everywhere in past conversations, in current relationships, even in moments that never made sense before. But before we get there, you need to understand something important. Why she asks questions instead of stating what she wants outright. Because once you understand that, the way you interpret every conversation will change. From a young age, around 5 or 6, girls begin absorbing a powerful social message. Don't be too forward. Don't be too aggressive. Don't make the first move. Be approachable but not obvious. Show interest but not too much. It's a balancing act that shapes how many women communicate for the rest of their lives. Linguist Dr. Deborah Tannen from Georgetown University spent decades studying these differences. She found that women often use what she calls rapport talk, communication aimed at building connection, testing emotional safety, and understanding the other person before revealing themselves. Men, by contrast, tend to use report talk, which focuses more on facts and solutions. So, when a woman asks you a question, she's usually not looking for information. She's looking for connection. She's testing the emotional space between you. She's asking, is it safe to move closer? This is where many men get caught off guard. Everything seemed fine. She was engaged, smiling, asking questions. But in her mind, she reached out in a vulnerable way, and he didn't meet her there. He gave a short answer, got distracted, and unknowingly shut the door. Now that you understand that dynamic, let's talk about the first question. The first question a woman asks when she wants intimacy is, what are you thinking right now? It sounds simple, almost meaningless. That's exactly why it gets ignored. But when she asks this, she's not making small talk. She's asking to step into your inner world. She's saying, let me see what's going on inside your mind. That's not casual. That's vulnerability reaching out. Relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman calls these moments emotional bids. They're small attempts to connect through words, gestures, or questions. His research showed that couples who consistently respond to these bids stay together at much higher rates than those who ignore them. So when she asks what you're thinking, she's reaching for you. And your response matters more than you think. A dismissive answer? Nothing. I don't know. Feels like rejection. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. And those quiet moments add up. For many women, emotional closeness comes before physical closeness. Studies in the archives of sexual behavior confirm that women's desire is strongly influenced by emotional context, feeling seen, valued, and understood. So when she asks what you're thinking, she's really asking, will you let me in? Can I feel closer to you right now? If your answer invites her in, something shifts. A wall lowers. A door opens. So next time she asks, don't deflect. Don't joke your way out. Just be real. It doesn't have to be deep or impressive. It just has to be honest. Now, the second question, this one is even more subtle. Are you tired? It sounds like nothing. Just a casual check in. But in the right moment, it's anything but. When she asks this, especially at night after time spent together, it's not about sleep. It's about availability. What she's really asking is, do you have energy for me right now? Is the night ending or continuing? The brilliance of this question is that it protects her. If you say you're tired, she can gracefully end the moment without feeling rejected. But if you say you're not, you've just given her permission to move closer. Imagine this. The night has been great. Conversation, laughter, subtle touches. Then she asks softly, are you tired? If you say yes, the moment fades. If you say no, calmly, warmly, something changes. You've signaled that you're present, open, and engaged. And that's often all she needs. Research from the Kinsey Institute found that one of the biggest barriers to intimacy for women isn't lack of attraction. It's feeling that their partner is unavailable or disconnected. So this question is her way of checking, without risking rejection. And timing matters. She won't ask it randomly. It comes in moments already charged with connection, right before things could move forward. Now here's the critical part. When both of these questions are missed, something shifts. She doesn't argue. She doesn't explain. She simply takes note. And slowly, she begins to pull back. Dr. Sue Johnson describes this as a cycle where one partner reaches out, the other doesn't respond, and eventually the reaching stops. These two questions are often the final attempts before that withdrawal begins. So, if you've ever felt like things were going well and then suddenly she became distant, think back. Chances are she asked one of these questions and didn't get what she needed. So, what do you do? When she asks, what are you thinking right now? Give her something genuine. Even something simple like, I was just enjoying this moment with you. When she asks, are you tired? And the moment feels right, say no. Say it with intention. Let her feel that you're present. That's it. Be open for the first question. Be available for the second. Those two responses, in the right moments, can build more connection than any grand gesture ever could. Because the truth is, women aren't complicated. They're careful. They communicate this way because vulnerability carries risk. And these questions are their way of reaching out without fully exposing themselves. Now that you understand this, the goal isn't to manipulate, it's to pay attention, to listen deeper, to recognize what's being said beneath the words. Because when you respond with presence and sincerity, you're doing more than answering a question. You're creating safety. And for a woman, that changes everything.